The story begins with a peaceful Apatosaurus couple who spend their days farming and living a simple, happy life. One morning, they walk toward their nest, where their eggs are just about to hatch. Slowly, the shells crack open and 3 adorable baby dinosaurs are born. 2 of them are strong, lively, and playful. But the third one remains curled up inside his egg for a while. He is much smaller and more frightened than his siblings. His parents lovingly name him Arlo. A little later, the whole family steps outside to show the little ones their beautiful farm. Their father proudly shows them the field and also points toward the faraway Clawtooth Mountain, a tall, sharp-edged peak that watches over their land. Time passes. The children grow. Buck and Libby turn out strong, fast, and fearless. They help their parents on the farm and don't shy away from hard work. But Arlo stays nervous and scared of almost everything. Even small tasks make him anxious, and no matter what he tries, he struggles to do things right. One day, their parents call all 3 children together. Winter is coming soon, the father explains, so they have stored a mountain of corn inside a giant silo to survive the cold months. The parents proudly press their footprints on the silo wall to mark their hard work. The children get excited to place their own prints too, but the father gently stops them. They aren't ready yet, he says. Only when they accomplish something truly worthy will they be allowed to leave their mark. One day, he assures them, each of them will earn that place. In the next few days, Buck proves himself by clearing an entire field of trees. The father beams with pride and allows him to leave his footprint. Then Libby plows an entire field all by herself, and she earns her mark too. Now only Arlo remains. He hasn't accomplished anything big yet, and the father refuses to let him leave a footprint. Arlo becomes sad. Buck teases him, calling him useless, and Arlo tries to defend himself, saying he really does try. But Buck keeps making fun of him until the father steps in and scolds him for bullying his little brother. That night, Arlo quietly tells his father that everyone thinks he can't do anything. But one day, he promises, he will prove himself. To help Arlo overcome his fear, his father gets an idea. He takes Arlo on a long walk under the sparkling night sky. The stillness, the cool breeze, and the stars above create a magical moment. His father explains that sometimes you must face your fear, because running from it will only hold you back. You must trust yourself, Arlo. Nothing is impossible. The next morning, they discover someone has been stealing food from the silo. The father panics. If this continues, they won't survive the winter. He tells Arlo that if he can catch the thief, he will finally earn his place on the silo wall. They set a trap with corn as bait. The father says that all Arlo needs to do is hit the thief with a stick once he gets caught. Arlo gets excited. His chance to prove himself has finally come. Arlo keeps watch over the trap, and a little later he hears rustling in the bushes. A small wild creature appears and falls straight into the trap. But Arlo is shocked to see that it isn't a monster. It's just a tiny, messy, human child. The boy struggles, shouting and trying to escape. Arlo's heart pounds loudly. He tries to gather courage to hit him, but he can't. His heart stops him. He frees the boy instead, and the child runs away. When the father arrives, he's furious. Arlo had the thief but let him go. His fear ruined everything, so he orders Arlo to come with him. Tonight they will finish the job. They follow the boy's footprints into the forest, but suddenly heavy rain begins. The tracks wash away. The father tells Arlo to move faster, but Arlo is terrified. The storm grows worse, lightning cracks across the sky, and Arlo slips and twists his ankle. He begs to return home, but his father pushes forward. Before they can turn back, a flash flood crashes through the forest. The father screams for Arlo to climb to higher ground. He lifts Arlo with his long neck and hurls him to safety. Arlo survives, but his father does not. The raging waters sweep him away forever. Broken-hearted, Arlo eventually returns home. The work grows harder without their father, but Arlo tries to help despite his sadness. One day, while he is storing corn, he finds the same wild boy stealing food again. Rage and grief explode inside him. He chases the boy, catches him, but slips and falls into the river. The current drags him far away. He hits a rock and loses consciousness. When Arlo wakes up, he finds himself alone on a strange riverbank surrounded by dense wilderness. Suddenly, he sees the wild boy, Spot, watching him from a distance. Arlo remembers his father's words, "If you ever get lost, follow the river. It will always lead you home." He begins walking along the river. Days pass, and hunger takes over. He spots berries on a tree and tries to reach them, but slips, trapping his leg under a heavy rock. He struggles all day until he finally collapses from exhaustion. When he wakes the next morning, his leg is free. Tiny footprints in the mud make it clear, Spot helped him. For the first time, Arlo realizes the boy he thought was his enemy had saved him. Arlo gathers sticks and builds a small shelter. Spot returns, bringing a lizard for him to eat, but Arlo pulls back in horror. Spot tries again, bringing an even bigger insect, but Arlo refuses. Finally, Spot understands and brings berries instead. Hungry and grateful, Arlo eats them eagerly. Spot then leads him to a tall berry tree full of fruit, but when Arlo rushes toward it, a huge snake falls on him. Before it can strike, Spot leaps fiercely at it and scares it away. Arlo is stunned by his bravery. Their bond grows stronger. They travel together along the river, sharing laughter when they watch hundreds of fireflies rise into the air. But the moment reminds Arlo of his father, and the joy fades. He uses sticks on the ground to show Spot his family, and how he lost his father. Spot quietly does the same, revealing he too has lost his parents. They understand each other's pain and hug tightly. The next day, a terrible storm breaks out. Arlo panics, remembering the night his father died. In his fear, he runs and ends up far from the river. Confused and upset, he accidentally meets a creepy group of birds who pretend to help injured animals but actually want to eat Spot. They try to trick Arlo, but when they grab Spot, Arlo fights back. Right then, two giant dinosaurs arrive and rescue them both. These dinosaurs take Arlo to meet their father, a huge and fierce-looking T-Rex, who is actually kind-hearted. The T-Rex family is searching for their lost herd of buffalo. Arlo offers help, explaining that Spot has an incredible sense of smell. Spot sniffs out the herd, but the buffalo thieves attack. A massive fight breaks out. One T-Rex gets knocked down, and without thinking, Arlo charges in to help. Together they defeat the thieves. That night, by the fire, the T-Rex father tells Arlo that everyone feels fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's learning to move forward despite it. Keep fear with you, he tells him, but don't let it control you. When you learn that, you become strong. The next morning, the T-Rex family leads Arlo and Spot toward the south. Soon the familiar silhouette of Clawtooth Mountain appears on the horizon. Home is close. The T-Rexes say goodbye, sending the boys off with their blessings. Arlo races toward the mountain with Spot laughing on his back. But suddenly, a strange sound echoes from the trees, the same sound Spot makes. A wild human family appears. Spot looks confused. Arlo gently carries him forward. Before they can get close, the predatory birds return and snatch Spot away. Arlo tries to save him but gets tangled in vines. Exhausted and hopeless, he collapses. Then he sees his father, or at least a vision of him, appear before him. His father frees him and encourages him to stand, but when Arlo looks down, he sees only his own footprints in the mud. It was all in his mind. His father's voice whispers in his heart, "Spot saved your life. Now it's your turn, he needs you." Arlo snaps awake, breaks the vines, and charges after the birds. He finds them attacking Spot. Arlo roars with all his strength. Spot fights too, biting one bird on the wing. With a final blow, Arlo defeats them. But the storm returns with another flood. Without hesitation, Arlo jumps into the raging water, grabs Spot, and carries him to safety. When the flood finally calms, they continue forward. Soon they find the same wild human family again. This time Arlo stops. He gently lowers Spot to the ground. Spot hesitates, unsure. Then he slowly walks toward his family. His father lifts him into his arms, holding him tight. Spot turns back to look at Arlo, eyes filled with emotion. He runs back, climbs onto Arlo one last time, as if begging not to be left behind. Arlo softly tells him, "No, Spot. Your place is here, with your family. You deserve love and care too." They look at each other for a long, emotional moment. Finally, Spot returns to his parents, and Arlo stands alone, but stronger than ever. Arlo follows the river until his home finally comes into view. Tears stream down his face, not from fear, but from joy. His mother, Buck, and Libby run toward him, wrap their necks around him, and hold him tight. Together, they place Arlo's footprint proudly on the silo. Arlo has finally earned his mark. And the story of Arlo and Spot reminds us that friendship and courage can carry us through any storm. If this story touched your heart, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a little love in the comments below.